cage, in prison for it. So he's something extraordinary. He wasn't the same guy. He wasn't the 25-year-old, Holden enraptured person. So, we weren't that interested after seeing that picture, but.
I think in hindsight, it ended up being a blessing not to talk to him. And for us, everything that happened after that day in December of 1980 was not as relevant and certainly not the focus of any the preparation. And we stuck to the Bible, which was Jarret's script, and Catcher in the Rye. But we did go on this journey, and we started at the beginning, and when you play a real life person like this, you have an opportunity. There are a lot of tools there. There are things that you can use to help try to bring some spirit, some life to the character. And we started at the very beginning. We went to Decatur, Georgia, where he was born. And we just kind of went on an adventure from there. Thank you.
You're welcome. He's got a question. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. When you were doing the voiceover part of it, did you watch yourself, or did you just remember how you felt in that moment,
It was a combination of both, but do you remember?
We weren't playing a lot up there because we did so much different voiceover and playing around with all kinds of different ideas. And
It was a combination of both, and the voiceover was present from the very beginning, and it was in the script. But there were ideas that Jarret had after. There was certainly a kind of stream of consciousness stuff that happened, and there were very specific things that were said. And oftentimes, the strangest and the most compelling things were the true things that were said. Or the real things, I should say, I guess, that were said. And it was a really bizarre experiment in making this film. It was a really dark path to walk down, and but ultimately, I think really, really worthwhile. And often we make films and we watch films that are about the successes of humanity, about, there's these plenty of romantic comedies out there, films about escapism or adventure or action, but I think it's also worthwhile to look at a different side of ourselves, and that encouraged me to make a film like this.
Question from back here. Yes.
Hey, what's shaking, gentlemen?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing okay.
What's going on? You got the mic. Tell us what's happening, buddy.
All right, okay.
What's shaking back there?
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
All right.
All right, I was reading...
There's always one out there, right? Just kidding.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll tell you this all day, brother.
Come on! All right, so I was reading that some time ago, Yoko Ono and Sean, I believe, was against making a film about Chapman because they didn't want to glorify the murder. Did you get the okay from the family, the Lennon family?
Well, you got to be careful what you read. I mean, it's not. I mean, there was no okay or anything, but there was no any kind of no either. People from our production were in contact with a representative of the Ono Lennon family, and we wrote them before the film was announced, just to be upfront about why we were doing this and why we felt it was necessary, and what our goals were, and to put ourselves out there to say, if either way, if it'd be an honor if anything at all, just so they wouldn't read about it and when it was announced and stuff, and the same thing with the board at the Dakota. We were you can read things that say that we were running around stealing shots, and that's not true. We were in contact with the board there, and New York City and the mayor, and we try to keep everything as open and on the up and up as possible.
This is more for the director. I noticed that there were a couple places where there was some real neat stuff with editing and jump cuts or whatnot. Was that a stylistic choice you made, or was it something your editor came up to you with, or how did that come about?
Well, it sort of seems to happen when the character is getting a little fractured. I think specifically he's speaking with his wife, and we start to jump around a little bit, and he's clutching his forehead, and we're on different sides, and we lose focus. And then again, when he is the same as cracking up outside the Dakota at the very end of the film, we move back to that sort of style. So it's sort of it is a form matching content, and it's the state of his soul represented filmically. While we're talking about representing the state of people's souls, I'd like to introduce Ann Crabtree, my costume designer, waving in the back.
Please stand back down.
Thanks, Ann.
Just got a question back here, Shy.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
The maestro? No. Oh, sorry.
It's kind of weird. I noticed in the credits, the person who played John Lennon said Mark Lindsay Chapman. That's not any relation to Mark David Chapman, because that would be really weird.
I've never gotten to the bottom of that, and it always was a very uncomfortable thing to even think about, and I just stayed away. So probably next question. I have no idea. It's as you guys